said, go ahead and nail my hands and feet, but I dare you to lift me up, cause if you lift me up, I'll draw men. And he's still speaking from eternity, saying, lift him up. Whoa, Jesus said, he said, if I'll draw. Whoa, Jesus said, he said, if I'll draw. He said, I'll draw. I'll draw. I'll draw. I'll draw. I'll draw all men. Whoa, Jesus said, he said, if I'll draw. Oh, Jesus said, he said, if I'll draw. Jesus said, he said it, he spoke it, he said, I'll draw all men. Listen, how to reach the masses, men of every birth. For an answer, Jesus gave a key. He said, if I be lifted up from the earth, I'll draw all men unto me. Whoa, Jesus said, he said, if I'll draw. Oh, Jesus said, he said, if I'll draw. Oh, he said, Jesus said, oh, he said, I'll draw all men. Well, all the world is hungry for the living bread. Lift the Savior of the men to see. Yes, trust him and do not doubt the word that he said. He said, I'll draw all men unto me. Well, Jesus said, he said, if I'll draw. Well, Jesus said, he said, if I'll draw. Oh, he said it, he spoke it, still speaking from eternity. Oh, everybody clap your hands. Come on, everybody, clap your hands. Come on, everybody, help me lift him up. Anybody willing, anybody